Hello, hello, hello. Let's see what's going on right now. It says here women do ask for more money, as in like a raise or something, but get turned down more often, study shows. Yeah, if you don't present a good argument as to why you deserve a raise, you tend to get turned down. And if you're not in a good negotiating position, it's easy for them to turn you down. For instance, it's better if you have alternatives, right? If you have another company offering you more money to do the same job and you present that to your bosses, that's a pretty good negotiating position and you highly unlikely for you to get turned down. What's this? Tington Zoe? Is that is that a person's name? A human resources consultant based in New York City admits that she didn't negotiate for pay when she was offered her first job. I mean, you work in human resources. You could get anyone to work there. What qualifications do you need to tell people that their feelings matter? It all happened quite swiftly, and I found myself at a loss for words in the moment, ultimately accepting the offer as presented. The 33-year-old Yahoo Finance. Okay, so she switched to Yahoo Finance. Okay. Her reticence cost her around $5,000 in her annual salary, she said, limiting how much she would set aside in a retirement plan and setting a lower bar for future annual raises, so has never made that mistake again. So how does she know that if she asked for that raise sooner, would she have not gotten turned down? Wouldn't wouldn't her spending more time in the job and proving her worth actually be a better argument for why she deserved a raise? While not every negotiation results in a higher offer, I consistently push myself out of my comfort zone to engage in the salary negotiation process. That's got to be annoying. Even though I've negotiated multiple times, I still experience a sense of nervousness each time, which I view as an opportunity to practice and improve. Yeah, that could be a detriment to you, especially if your job is something that makes you easily replaceable, or your job is one that's a little bit more nebulous and it goes up and down as far as profits are concerned, and people are starting to look for, how they can cut costs. They're usually going to look for getting rid of, their employees and see if they can get the same job done with less workers. And if you constantly negotiate for higher pay, you're the first one to go. They don't really need you. So if you're going to give people that advice, it better be tailored to certain professions. Like you can't be making sandwiches at Subway and trying to negotiate for higher pay. Like it's got to be certain professions. Like maybe you're a lawyer or something. Contrary to popular belief, professional women like Zoe are negotiating their salaries. Yeah, professional women, it's certain jobs where you can be a professional at. And they're doing so more often than men. Doing something more often doesn't make you good at it. As you stated in the headline, they do it more, but they get turned down more. That just proves that the men do it less often and they're better at it. That's efficiency right there. According to recent analysis published by the Academy of Management, I didn't even know there was such a thing. Academy of Management? An entire school dedicated to management. Or are they using academy in a different way? But they get turned down more often too. Okay. What is her name? Ting Ling? Ting Ting? That's got to be racist. That's just all right. What kind of animal is that? Is that a deer or what is weird? All right, Ting Ting. The study upends commonly held beliefs that women are paid less than men because they indirectly choose to be to be by being less competitive and assertive. No, that's still true. Women are still less competitive and assertive. I don't know what you thought you proved, because you just stated that women ask for raises more, but they fail more often. The results are the same. Like, if I run a race, I train more to run a race, but yet I still lose more often. The result is the same. You can't just be like, oh, you just disprove the commonly held belief that you lose a race because you're not as good. Like, what are you talking about? The study's researchers says that understanding what's really at play when it comes to pay disparity is important to closing the gap. I guess, but you just it looks like you did a study to try to understand what's at play, and then you found nothing, and you decide to just make something up, because this was nothing. Anyone could look at this data and be like, oh, okay, if we had something more interesting, we would go with that, but I guess this is all we got. Like, this is what happened. You didn't have any more relevant information that can help you figure out what's going on, so you just went with this, because it's like, oh, well, it's kind of like people wouldn't assume that this happened. People wouldn't assume that women ask for raises more. So, you know, they didn't do anything. The University of Berkeley, blah, blah, blah. Professor Laura Cray, one of the researchers, told Yahoo Finance, continuing to put the blame on women for not negotiating away. Blame? This is blame? If someone choose a certain job, maybe like a teacher, and they're complaining they don't get paid enough, like teachers do, because there's a shitload of teachers, so they don't need to pay you more and they can just get someone else to do the job. Is that blaming them by simply stating the facts of their circumstance? Like, everyone wants to be a victim, perpetuating gender stereotypes. It's not a stereotype. It's really not a stereotype. It is a fact that the genders have different dispositions, and women tend to be more timid and less assertive. That's not a stereotype. That's just like if I say men tend to be more aggressive, no one would be like, oh, don't perpetuate that negative stereotype that men are men are aggressive. You don't care because it's about men. The moment it's about women, panties get all twisted up. Cray was joined by Vanderbilt, root causes of gender pay gap. When Cray and her co-authors analyzed the survey, students graduated, blah, 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 words, they found that a significant more women than men reportedly negotiated their offers, 54% versus 44%. Doesn't matter. The research then pulled apart, blah, 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 words, whether the negotiation was successful, blah, blah, blah. The analysis confirmed that people who ask for higher pay are indeed more likely to get higher pay, no shit, than those who don't ask. No shit. I didn't even need to conduct that, and I already knew. I mean, I don't usually like the bald head, but she is cute. Anyways, but overall, they found that the women earned 22% less than the men. Yes. And the other women's lower pay, the only difference that emerged along gender lines was that more women than men say that they attempted to negotiate, more women reported that they had been spurned. Probably because men feel like they're not in a position to negotiate, so they don't negotiate. And when they do feel like they're in a position to negotiate, they negotiate. Hence why they're more successful. Whereas the women feel like they should negotiate just because they want more money. I want money. I'll just ask for it. We need to look beyond negotiating propensity and understand the root cause of Do you have any actual information here? No. Anyways, until next time.